What's going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today with your Arsenal. I know you might be sitting there. Arsenal? When have you ever done an Arsenal video? This is my first time. It's my first time. Because I am an Arsenal fan, or at least a somewhat new Arsenal fan over the past month or two. I've decided to pick my Prem team, and I've decided that I'm going to be a Arsenal fan. Obviously, could have went with a Man City. Could have done one of those. I mean, Arsenal, they did finish second last year, so might be bad timing for the bandwagon, whatever. But I'm sticking to it. I ain't changing. I'm an Arsenal fan. Because over the last year I've been getting into football. But I was watching the MLS, which is soccer, for the Portland Timbers. Decided, you know what? Why don't I make my debut over in the international scene and go make a selection for who I am going to be a fan of in the Prem, and that is Arsenal. That is Arsenal. And we'll talk about them here today. Let's talk about them. Starting 11 here. We started off with, obviously, Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Obviously, with David Raya on the horizon. He kind of needed to stand out today. He kind of needed, yesterday. If you watched my Bears video, that will explain why you're watching this more than likely on Monday. But in our back line, we got Thomas Partey on one of the wing-back positions. You got Ben White in the center back with William Saliba. And then you got Jurrien Timber, who has been fantastic throughout the preseason heading into this Premier League season. Midfield, we had Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Martin Odegaard. All three of those guys are very, very talented, world-class players. And then at the top, you had Bukayo Saka. You had Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Martinelli. So that was our starting lineup against theirs, who they started Gibbs White, Johnson, Danilo, Aina, Mangala, Yates, Aurier, McKenna, Worrell, Bowley, and former gunner and first-time starter for Nottingham Forest, Matt Turner. Matt Turner, the U.S. men's national team's goalie. We had a good game. We had a very good game. First half looked great. Looked really, really good for us in the first half. I'm not going to lie. But the rest of it, the second half was not nearly as good. Ramsdale did fine. He gave up a goal. We won 2-1, but he did fine. Wasn't very particularly a big fan, I guess you can say, of Ben White starting at center back, and Thomas Partey there on, I think that's the right back position. Might have been left back. I think it's right back. But Partey, I wasn't a particular fan of also playing on the wing back position. But it is what it is. We won. We won ultimately. Not exactly sure why Gabriel did not start at center back. And I was on the way to the Bears game when I was watching, so I didn't have like audio or anything. But he did end up playing. Gabriel did end up playing, so I don't know necessarily what the situation was with him as to why he didn't play more than what he did, and why he came in the game so late. I would have probably started him if he's fully healthy. Maybe he wasn't fully healthy. I'm not fully sure. But unfortunately, that wasn't what happened game one. We had that back line, and the first half, it really wasn't much of a problem because we had possession for the majority of the first half. I wonder if it tells you here on FOTMob how much possession time you had. Yeah, we dominated possession throughout the entire game. 78% of the game was our possession. And we did phenomenal. We did phenomenal in the first half. Scored 2 goals in the first half, 0 in the second. Absolute screamer of a goal. Beautiful goal. Bukayo Saka trying to get around, and he just lofts it up off his left foot. Upper bins, top left bins. Nothing that Matt Turner could do. Bukayo Saka with absolutely the best goal in that entire game. And then you had Eddie Nketiah getting his goal. He got his goal, a little bit of a deflection type of goal, but he got his goal. Eddie Nketiah, somebody that is potentially going to be sold soon. I know teams like Crystal Palace are looking at him, but Eddie Nketiah, I know he wants to play first team football more often than not, and with an opportunity being put in front of him without Gabriel Jesus being there, he stepped up. He did his thing. So shout out to Eddie. He did what he needed to do. He put his goal on the board. So both him and Saka started off the season very well, and I don't want to miss without mentioning Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli had the assist of the game. He was doing a spin. He kind of like flicked it off the back of his foot in between two defenders, gets it to Nketiah, and Nketiah puts it in the back of the net. It was beautiful, beautiful goal there. Gabriel Martinelli, an absolute beast there with an absolute world-class play. Second half, though, wasn't particularly nearly as good. Got beat a lot in transition. It ultimately did end up affecting us because they did get a goal out of it. But I wasn't a major fan of how our back line played in the second half. But a lot of it was on counters, so I guess it's somewhat understandable. I thought we could win this game 3-1, but we ultimately won it 2-1. A win's a win. A win's a win. I thought they played well. I thought they played well for it being the first game. Forest had more expected goals, and we didn't have a singular expected goal, but we won. We won because we had two absolutely great goals from our players up top. So, it is what it is. You can't complain too much about a victory at the end of the day. But thank you guys for watching. We'll talk maybe more about it next week when we talk about Arsenal's next matchup. Who do they play next? Who do they play next? We go on and play Palace Monday. So Monday we will be talking about Palace and Arsenal. But I'll talk to you later.